Halito, halito, halito. Grand rising, great rising, beloveds. Top of the top to you. What's happening with you? Hope everything's healthy. Hope everything is healthy out there in Indian country. Let's see. What we got going on today? Momento. If I didn't already, I want to give a shout out, a rest in peace to our homeboy Finn. Fendi Farmers from Queens, New York. Farmers Boulevard in the house. Sleep in peace, Finn. He was a good man. Good man. This is bugged out. You go from children to adults, and you see your childhood friends die, the people you knew pretty much all your life. Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Sad. What's happening, beloved? Wood grain. Grand rising to you, beauties. How y'all doing? I hope everything's healthy. What's good with you? So, a little bit of moon madness in the morning. Wanted to talk about a few things going forward. I hope y'all liked the build that we did last night. We're going to be, like I said, we'll be breaking down a lot of the American history told from the inside out, not from the outside looking in. We're going to look at what was going on, some of the propaganda, a lot of the news stories, what were the sensations of yesteryear. We're going to be exploring a lot of those things. At the end of it all, just basically hoping that people will be able to grab a hold of their own tangible bloodline history. Good morning, Genesis. Their own tangible bloodline American history. Or their history, period. It doesn't matter. And while I'm saying that, let me just make this clear. Now, not only, did we, well, I myself particularly, I made sure when I came into this understanding, into this community, that I included the other Americas. When I say the other Americas, I mean the Caribbean, South, and Central America as well. The only thing is, and for the most part, besides being saturated, most of the Caribbean being saturated, particularly Jamaica with Selassie, and being Africanized, very, very much so Africanized. Same thing with Haiti. You have the Latin American, the so-called Latin American countries, and it's kind of the same thing with them. So they grab a hold of this American Indian truth, yet they still don't insert themselves in it in their prospective nations. Grand Rising, Mr. Waldo. So what I mean by that, you have a lot of Caribbean Americans that live in England, a lot of Americans that live abroad in other parts of the Americas, and they are heavily saturated and drenching themselves in the affairs of what happens here stateside. And I think that is a disservice to themselves, because that means if you are so knee deep in what's going on here stateside, in New York, in Georgia, in DC, the DMV area, or whatever, you are not paying attention to what's happening in your own nation, right? And there's nothing wrong with being inclusive, but there's still some things that you have to fix. I went over the Jamaican Constitution probably 2 years ago. I could probably pull it up and talk about and show the timestamp on how long ago we did this build. So when I did that build, what my intentions for doing that build was to inform people specifically of Jamaica on what some of the problems are with them politically, why they are having such a hard time struggling, such a beautiful nation, and they have serious third world problems. One thing that the other Americas had that's different from the stateside Americans is nationality, right? You always have a proud Trinidadian or a proud Jamaican or a proud Boricua, a proud Moreno, Dominican, or proud this or proud that. But we didn't, the Americans or North Americans stateside, we were just like a crayon color and kind of okay with that, kind of settled for that, being called part of two continents without any type of proof or validation to it at all. It was never validated. They may have verified it, but they never validated it. And there's a huge difference in between what is what as far as verifying and validating. We all know that to be true. We know that to be true. So I want to know, what is it that they are looking to do for themselves, because there's not much that we'll be able to do. We can exchange information, but the US Constitution, the Constitution of the state of North Carolina, the Constitution of the state of New York is not going to help somebody in St. Mary's Parish, Jamaica. It's not going to help you in Tivoli Gardens. It's not going to help you in the Grill. So how does that work? So are they going to, I mean, because in order for it to be effective, it has to happen not just here stateside, but it has to happen in there as well. So what is Brazil going to do? Brazil is completely outnumbered. Even Argentina, nobody remembers any of the dark hued colored people, original people of Argentina. Right? It's so scrubbed out that even way up in the mountains of Terra del Fuego and what have you, those people no longer look like the original people that were there. They have no voice. We don't even hear we don't hear much from that side. So do they think that they don't have a fight, or are they just kind of so focused on their own affairs that they don't, knock on the window and say, hey, 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 cousins, what we going to do over here? We don't have that kind of unity. We don't have that kind of unity. Now, not only do we not have that kind of intra-American unity, but they are also they're weakening the movement by not educating themselves, by not making themselves become knowledgeable on what it is that they can do to make sure that the Indian gets some respect on their name in Panama. I have no control over that. I have no control over how the Indian is treated in Venezuela. But there are Venezuelans, there are Argentinians, there are Brazilians that are knee deep in the American Indian movement, right? Knee deep into our affairs. They have opinions about Hebrews, Moors. They have opinions about everything, Donald Trump, everything that it is that we're going through here. But you never hear or see them magnify the problems that are right outside their door in their prospective nations. And I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm very concerned about that. What's up, Leisha? Cliffmatic, what up, beloved? So I'm kind of concerned. How do we help our Caribbean brothers and sisters, our South and Central American brothers and sisters? How do we get them on board to worry about what it is that they have going on too? Because they all have constitutions as well. They all have treaties as well. And they need to get to the bottom of it. The same thing that happened to us pretty much happened to them as well. Shouldn't the Jamaicans be looking at their treaties? Do you think that it's only going to boil down to Arawak and Taino? Absolutely not. I am certain that it's going to be several other tribes that have yet to be mentioned or brought up in, I don't know, decades, centuries. What do you want to call it? However long. Or we'd know about it. We'd know about it. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to stop what I was doing just to specifically cater to the people of the Caribbean, South and Central America. But most of the general information is for them as well. They were also, we had Spanish colonists, French colonists, British colonists, Swedish, Dutch. Same thing happened to North, South and Central America and the Caribbean as well. They had the exact same colonizers. With that being said, you beat the same devil the same way we'd have to beat the devil. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have to find that. And they have to dig deep. Now, basically, when I did the Jamaican Constitution, that oppression is serious. Whether or not they take it serious, it's not for me to say what level of seriousness they should take it. I just know I really haven't seen a big deal. Haven't seen much going on regarding it. And because I haven't seen much going on regarding it, I'm left with very little except to know that they are more submerged in what we have going on here than what's going on in their own beautiful backyard where they can just reach over the terrace and grab a papaya out the tree. Right? Would you exchange those white sand beaches and the beautiful blue skies and the consistent weather for being oppressed by foreigners that may look like you, but they are not your kin, right? Because we know that the people that are oppressing others in and this and you can, you know, people that may not like it, but the truth is they don't have the same situations or setups that we have with let me not say that. What I'll say is their oppressors don't look the same as ours, right? We have a multitude of oppressors. We have European oppressors. We have skinfolk oppressors, foreign invader oppressors, political asylum, asylum seekers. We have all types of different types of oppressors, right? And they come in all different flavors, sizes, shapes, and colors. However, when you look at these other countries, let's take some of the, even some of the African nations, right? They have skin folk oppressors. Now, what would make them not for once consider that perhaps the people that are there oppressing them are not really their people? You get what I'm saying? How the Label tribe, right? Got to bring up the Label tribe. They said that they came from, I think, Persia over 1,000 years ago. But yet there's a sucker with a DNA test that DNA points him in that particular area, but those people say that they were not there, you know, X amount of years ago. And they say that they arrived at that spot in Africa from Asia, Persia, okay? And they came into Africa, into Western Africa and settled. And they said that they got there about, I think, 700 years after the Khoi people did. So the people that are oppressing them, they're not really your kinfolk. They have a different ball game. Their spiel is a little different. So they have skin folk oppressors, and nobody talks about it. They have whole slavery going on, a whole bunch of those situations. And again, they too have also been in American Indian affairs. And we have not forced anybody to stay in their lane. And it's appropriate that they stay in their lane because they definitely have one, and it's not the same that we're in. Everybody has to take their fight and go for it. Go for what they know. They can't wait for the Aboriginal American Jesus to come through and save the whole entire world. It could be done, but it won't be done until we fix what we fix ourselves, because that will bring about a change in the world. But that's not going to change everybody's situation. It may change ours, but that does not mean that it will change everybody else's situation. It'll set the precedent for the tenacity and all of the ingredients that you'll need in order for them to change their situation. But I'm asking, what is it that they're going to do? We're going to have to force them to make a move. If we don't treat this like time is running out, you got to treat this shit like every day is the last day. If you don't think this quarantine was a big old pull the rug from underneath the Negro, I don't know what to tell y'all. It just so happens that I'm not going to complain too much because I happen to love the people that I'm locked in the building with. And they love me back. So I'm okay with that. But I'm ready to hit the ground running, right? So when I disappear off the radar and stuff like that, I'm not coming back until I got my first strawberry or or my first fucking tomato, a grape, something, sunflower, something. Did all of the working backwards. Now it's time to put all of the planning into action. So with the rug being pulled from underneath us just this quick in these last 90 days, going forward, I know that life is never going to be as we knew it. It was the same way after 9/11. I know I was affected by it. That was the first time I can honestly say, diagnose myself with having anxiety. This is where I was attached to CNN, right? We went to go get a bag of weed and we turned around and did not go over into Manhattan to go and get money back from one police plaza. Turned right back around because we were on our way upstate New York and I was not going to drive 3 hours without any smoke. Turn this car around. We turned the car around and missed all of the explosions and all the fireworks and everything that happened down at Ground Zero. Absolutely. Absolutely, we were affected. We lost people in those towers. Absolutely, we were affected. Life was never the same. They cut down on a lot of things, right? A lot of things got cut down after 9/11. Things were never really fully the same. The airports, the movie theaters, metal detectors everywhere, privacy got invaded, all kinds of different things. We gave up different freedoms for privileges. They told us they were going to take away, that they could take away freedoms for privileges, and we were just like, okay, okay. I don't like when they take away our privileges and freedoms, not knowing what we were submitting to or agreeing to. So I implore people to find out what it is that they're going to do. Is everybody just shucking and jiving? Is this just like the big old hangout spot? This is the house where everybody comes to and hangs out, and you can find out where your crew is because you see all the bikes laid out outside. Here they go right there. They're gonna mark his bike right there. He's here. They all here. The gang's all here. Is this just a hangout spot? What are you doing offline when you're not listening to Phoenix Moon and you're not listening to Indigenous One? When you're not listening to Dane Calloway, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your family? It shouldn't be all these ridiculous things, documentations where y'all creating all these declarations and all that other shit, and then these dumbass niggas tell you that they're not responsible for what happens to you with paperwork that they put out. They didn't do it themselves because they asses would be in the same position predicament that you'd be in. If you went to jail with that paperwork, why didn't they go to jail? You did it the same way they said it. They'll tell you it didn't work. And y'all okay with that? See, there's been zero accountability. And now the whole class done went mad, right? You didn't let all the kids, you didn't put them down for their nap. You didn't let them run around. You didn't gave them snacks when mama told you not to. Mama told you don't get them no more water. Now these little niggas done kept pissing in the bed now, right? Got to throw the mattress out now, right? Going to take responsibility or accountability for some of the things that got neglected, some of the things that fell by the wayside, and now these motherfuckers is comfortable, shitting on the Indians' lawn. People are still comfortable. We've set the precedent already. We beat everybody. There's nobody that can debate us. There's nobody that can debate us on the planet and win right now. So how did that make y'all feel? That wasn't enough of the victory, right? Because that was the starter kit. That was the precedent to let it be known. So now, after your skills got all honed and sharpened from all this debate mode, what pilgrims you want to sit down and talk to next? Because that's the boss at the end of the video game that we gotta make respect what we got going on, right? So all that build up, did it do anything? Did it sharpen your sword? Did it make you tough? Did it make you active? Or are you just reactive? Are you proactive or are you reactive? Oh, they trying to kill us. Oh, they want to hurt us. Oh, they after us. That's reactive. Okay, I got to protect myself from getting killed. That's proactive. But they doing this. They doing that. They going to do this. They going to do that. They doing this to us. That's woe is me shit is reactive. I feel you. You may be telling the truth. You may be completely right. The only thing is, I'm no longer emotional. I'm already cried out. You can't make me emotional because that's how you feel about it. Just like I can't make you proactive, right? You can't make me reactive and I can't make you proactive. Let's find some sort of medium so we can still work together. Because one of us is trying to run and the other one's trying to drag their feet. Who's the killer? We both could be. And maybe not. It is high time that the people of the Caribbean, South, Central America take accountability for their own neighborhoods, their own backyards. There's no abandonment, there's no ties being severed, but we have to be allies. I'm not saying we ain't cousins, but come on now. I'm gonna let you play the video game, but you can't hog the controller. You don't get to hog the controller. This our house. Me and my brothers go first, and then y'all can take turns. But it's house rules right here. If we roll a blunt, we like that bitch. Talking about. It's no offense. It's no offense at all. But there has to be some sort of action. And I thought that was going to happen. And it seems like they kind of um, weren't satisfied with the records because I have yet to see a plethora. And I've worked with plenty of people in the other Americas and led them exactly to where, I was successful finding when I was just doing it for shits and giggles, because I had access to it since 2003. So it was it was okay for me to do the neighbors, the next door neighbors, someone on my job. So at that time, I got to see a lot of things. I didn't always understand everything that I was looking at in terms of our particular history. It took me a while quite some time before I noticed that, hell, hold on, every family that I found there's more free people than there is slaves. I was very confused about that, but not enough to put the two and two together that make four now, right? But I still I still think that they're going to be very disadvantaged by not knowing what it is that they're supposed to be doing right now. Because it's not always going to be minding our business. And you'll see that that's going to end up being a problem. And then how are people going to feel about that? Whose fault is that going to be? Will there be any accountability for the lack of work that they're putting in on themselves, for themselves, to save themselves and their people? What is it that they're doing? Are they getting to the bottom of? There has to be some things to get to the bottom of it. Puerto Rico is the United States now, right? They had a 5.5 magnitude earthquake the other day. I'm sure that has caused more damage in addition to the damage that never got repaired from the last superstorm that they had that rocked them. Okay, left people without. So now that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, that's no different than how we feel when the levees broke in New Orleans. Everybody's heart was broke here. We need to have that same we don't have that same kind of love here. Now, I know a lot of that in particular when it comes down to specifically South and Central America, because they are saturated with the same descendants of the conquistador and colonizers, right? Even Hitler and the Germans from Nazi Germany, right? The Nazis, they all were able to start their lives anew in different places down there. So there's definitely been a whole bunch of race scrubbing and stuff like that, and all those kinds of things. So I'm sure lots of their rights are getting violated left and right. And I'm gonna tell you what, I still love being from United States. I love from being from over here. We got a lot of shit going on, but there's no place I would rather be. I don't know about everybody else. I don't know. When there's countries that, if I get caught with vanilla extract, they're gonna cut my goddamn head off. There's countries like that. Yeah, hell yeah, I'd rather be here. I can talk shit about what I want to talk shit about. Who I want to talk shit about. No one's gonna cut my head off at noon in front of the whole goddamn village. Winning. That's winning to me. I'm not going to lose my goddamn tongue for saying, fuck Obama. I ain't going to get hurt for that. Right? So people could complain all they want, but there's no place I'd rather be. I don't know about you. There's no place I'd rather be. So people in the Americas are going to, and the other Americas are going to have to bust a move. They're going to have to bust a move. Not because Moon says so, but because the way things are going, they are going to force you into a position, and we're not going to be able to help you. And you're going to look to us for help, and then you're going to be mad, and then you're going to separate yourselves from us and become them again. That's going to be a problem. It's not going to be our problem stateside. But it may be something that people in Nicaragua and Honduras, Belize and Panama and Brazil, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Virgin Islands, St. Kitts. Maybe some things they want to consider. If you're from Dominica, go and help your people. You should be there getting active there. The bulk of your activity should be there for them, with them, on behalf of your ancestors. I thought that's how this was supposed to work. But now it just seems that we have to compete with them over here as they insert themselves and appoint themselves as chiefs over here. And I recall this saying my grandma used to say, who died and made you chief? We all heard that one, right? Didn't know the significance of it, did we? Didn't know the significance of little one-liners such as that. Who died? Who done died and made you chief? It's going to be something that people are going to have to answer at some point. Chief of what? Chief of who? Where? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, papi? Gotta figure it out. Gotta figure it out. And until then, don't be mad. But there's gonna be something that we're gonna stop. And then if you look, they are the ones that go the hardest with the memes. They are the ones that go the hardest, but they can never talk about themselves. They're only gonna keep repeating what it is that they see us repeat. With literature and things that they find. They may find all of these elaborate ways to post it, repost it, but they're sitting at a computer posting your American stuff while they're in England, not doing nothing about their American stuff that they left behind in the Caribbean. Now the West Indians that are in Europe now have competition with the Nigerians and the other nations that are going into those European nations as well, right? So I asked, and it's been 3 years, 4 years now, 5 years now, I asked the people in the other Americas that live abroad, the Indians, American Indians that live abroad and have been living abroad 2 generations or more. I ask you, what is it that you have found regarding your ancestors, how you got to Britain? Do you have any treaties? Are you a part of any tribes from any of the Caribbean nations that had something going on? Have you guys tapped into that? I haven't seen anybody doing that. I've seen them all breaking down what happened over here, but they don't really have the aspect that they should be having right now at this point in time, is what I'm saying. And when their 5 minutes on the mic comes up, they're going to run out of bars, because our bars ain't going to be for the same beat they got. We got an 8-bar hook. They got a 4-bar hook. A little different. Cadence is different. The style is different. We insert our bridge somewhere else. They put their verse in the front, chorus behind it. We put our chorus in the front, verse next. Different style. Still a good song nonetheless. Something that the whole world want to dance to. That's a fact, because we got that beat. However, Rap and reggae is two different vibes. Even though they both complement each other and they go together, they make one hell of a motherfucking party. There's a different way to make a reggae song, and there's a different way to make a rap song. The whole world loves both types of music, though, right? With that being said, the people from the other Americas, I implore you to dig in to your history, your tangible bloodline history. We thank you for supporting us here and asserting the narrative that the African Americans are, in fact, American Indians. That was the same for you. There is no bias there. However, these years later, there has not been a lot of accomplishments coming from out of the other Americas, yet we have a huge, huge peanut gallery. Have a lot of supporters, wonderful supporters, and we absolutely support you. But again, I implore you to find out what's going on in your neck of the woods. There may be a turn of events where the ancestors centralize some of the things that need to be done for this build right there where you are. Are you going to be able to do what you're supposed to do? Are you understanding and respecting and making the changes, the necessary adoptions and changes to Polix and civics and polity that's going to bring about something 7 generations, 10 generations forward? Because that's the precedent we are looking to set here. It should be the same. You can mirror that there. That's fine. There's no problem in that. However, the Constitution of New York is not going to save you in Belize. The U.S. Constitution is not going to save you. The Choctaw and Chickasaw Treaty of 1866 isn't going to do anything for you in Panama. Not going to do anything for you in Jamaica. It's going to make you mad and you're going to end up being resentful. You're going to end up being resentful with the people. That may have been what happened already anyway, because even when we're standing together, you still see yourselves as better than us. And that goes back to, them giving you nationality, but they still took your heritage. Yeah, they called you a Jamaican. That gave you something pretty solid to stand on, but at the same time, they didn't tell you was Indian either. So there's that. They call you West Indian, but then they still gave you another name. And you think you could take that name and shame someone here, right? But everybody wants to be here in America. Everybody wants to be here. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to be here. I'd want to be here too. I want to. I was somewhere else, looking out the window like, damn, I want to go play with them. Y'all want to throw the ball up here? That'd be me. That'd be me. They have some work to do. And, I would agree that they are, Mr. Waltho. I would say so, particularly that might be something that's going way back from the Ashanti Wars. Little do people know. That might be something that goes back way back into the 1820s with the Ashanti Wars. There's a direct connect with them sending soldiers specifically from Kingston, Jamaica, to go and fight the Ashanti. Even as late as the 1890s, early as the early 1900s, this was going on. So, but like I'm saying, they just, far be it for me to tell them what to do, but don't get caught slipping, homie. You're going to get caught slipping. You're going to get caught slipping. And the way that people handled, let's go talk about how people handled the census. How did people handle the census? Something people put Aboriginal, they put on. The best thing to do is put tribe unknown. You can do that. That makes sense. That's not a lie, right? But when they put all these other little shenanigans and stuff like that, you could kind of tell the belligerence and the combative and the aggression behind it. That's not really going to, um, well, it ain't going to hurt you none, but it damn sure ain't going to help you. I understand the sentiment of the aggression. I understand that wholeheartedly, but at the same time, you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, right? So only person that has to behave that way is someone that's going to have a hard time getting their point across. But if you know what your point is, you're not going to miss. We didn't know what the target was before. Now we got everybody on the radar. We got the whole drop and nothing but the drop. What are you scared of? Why do people still think they need all of this paperwork and these imaginary things, and they're not doing the basic things that are virtually free to do, free to get, to free you? So I have yet to see, the genealogical breakdowns, the migration patterns. It's just, it just seems that there was a certain area that I expected, a level of expectations, I would say, that I expected research wise, information wise. And I kind of thought all of these things would be going on simultaneously, right? But instead, what's happened was things have kind of gone by the wayside. People have formed their own opinions. They formed allegiances and shit with people that can't do nothing for them and really not going to do nothing. Not even encouraging them to do something for themselves or sending them little spicy meatballs in their area that you come across, right? That would help the people in those areas, because that'd be the best I can do. I find something here. Oh, this is pertinent to my people. Let me call my people out there, Albuquerque, and let them know I just saw this law that's going down for Albuquerque. Let me make sure they know what time it is, because they might be right there in Albuquerque and don't really know what's hitting for. Don't really know what it's hitting for. You know? Let me call them up and let them know, yo, did you see that law? This protects you. This does that, and the third. All right, Moon, thanks. Good looking out. Yep, you got it. I'm a holler. That's that. I set it and forget it. Months go by. I'll be waiting for that call. Like, yo, remember when you told me that they had that thing out there, out here in Albuquerque? Yo, let me tell you how I was successful with that. Good, that's what I be liking to hear. But there don't be no follow-up. So I know people would just take the jewel and act like they never got one. I feel like I'm becoming more and more like one of my favorite uncles. And you get, when you get his attention, you have to choose your words real quick. He's one and done. We it's a lot of women in the family. We don't make the men emotional or nothing like that. Like, they are the kings of, okay, calm down. We are not, we've learned to not be those kind of nagging women, pressing scared, because the men are so laid back. When we're like, the roof's on fire, the roof's on fire. Oh my God. They're like, hey, just chill. It's 3 buckets of water over there. Fire's gonna be out in a minute. We can trust that. The fire's gonna be out in a minute. The fire's gonna be out momentarily. So I said that to say that is the energy that I have taken on. Because you know why? It's the proactive energy instead of the reactive energy. Reactive, don't nothing get done. Everybody's in a panic. Nothing gets done. The only thing that gets done is a bunch of negative. Woe is me. Misery loves company. Come cry me a river over here. I'm going to swim in this river of tears with you. Let's all have company. Let's all join together so we can cry. Let's all just cry together. As long as we're crying together. I don't want to cry with you. I fucking almost lost my mind crying for you. I don't want to fucking cry with you. I wanted to laugh with you. I like laughing. I fucking like crying. Unless I'm crying from laughing. So we got to figure out what it is that we're doing, what it is. See, now we have to like rewrite things. See, we came out the door busting. right? You know, they wrote that manifesto, how to disable the A4 community, right? How to disable African Americans and African and the Aboriginal American Indian movement, right? They had this manifesto a couple of years ago. I shared it before, where they said that, you know, basically like they found me and boom, hit the community, the conscious community with shock and awe. So their whole plan from the beginning was to attack Carrie and to disable Phoenix Moon. I showed that. My sister showed that back in 2017. There was really no feedback on it, and they did exactly what they set out to do. So all this time while we doing all these different placebo attacks, I was testing my brothers and sisters too. I was testing my brothers and sisters too. I need to see how safe you gonna make sure. See, because at the end of the day, nothing that I did, right? Nothing that nobody that I brought around brought no harm to not one of these niggas. But these Indians that talk shit cannot say the same thing. Everybody they brought around me was an intention to fucking harm. Look at how it shook out. Look at how they shook out. That's not a lie. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me it's a lie. I'm waiting for somebody to say that's a lie. Go back over the 5 years. Where y'all been at? This ain't for the newcomers. It's for the OGs that been around for a minute. From the battle groups to the battlefield. Let me know. Let me know if it didn't play out the way they wanted it to play out. And a lot of these niggas let it play out that way. There's ego. See, this is the thing. Now you got to see what niggas is jealous over nothing. I don't know where these niggas come from, but this niggas that be jealous over bitches and shit. That shit is something that's their problem. That's really not my problem. But I identify that demon. Some of these niggas be jealous of chicks. I don't got that kind of time. Maybe be a little amazed because we can have 10-pound babies and then snap back, right? Maybe be amazed at women, but don't be jealous of us. I'm amazed at the fact you can open up a goddamn mayonnaise jar, whether your hands are greasy or not. Pop, nigga, just, right? You're sure. I'm amazed you can do that. I'm not jealous. So, hey, Lacono Empire. What's happening? What's up, Lacono? Jesus Christ is. Much respect, beloved. Oh, so-called crisis. Yes. Why don't I drop the link? Lacono, you're definitely welcome to come up here and talk. I'm using this different software and I'm on a whole nother screen. I got different platforms going, so it's kind of hard to monitor from Facebook to YouTube, and then I'm in StreamYard and it's kind of delayed. So I did drop the link down there. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. You know, so, but definitely there is a way to move forward, but we got to clean up, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's some things that's been going on and people have been quiet about it. As far as I'm concerned, if you report a violation and the police don't the police don't respond, you'd be upset. If you say somebody stole your wallet and you went to the police station, you'd be upset. It's niggas that, listen, in the last 15 years, no lie, I done seen some shit that nobody could understand. There's no excuse, no way you can understand that, right? I done seen shit to where the drug dealer gets robbed and the nigga that robbed the drug dealer call the cops. How about that? Yes, I've seen that. I've absolutely seen that. So going forward, there was no accountability. We've lodged some complaints, right? We have told of different things that have happened to us, and people have still joined hands with the people we told you that was abusing us. They all fell on deaf ears, right? So now when you get a whole bunch of boys and girls that cried wolf, This is the problem that you created, right? See, we had to do this the same way you rear up a child to be strong, to be confident, to be self-sufficient, to take initiative. It's the same way we were supposed to treat our brothers and sisters as we built this community. We was raising things up. We were raising ourselves up from childhood, right? To be adults so that we can handle the affairs that our ancestors, the most recent ones, didn't really handle, right? Coming from an era where we had to learn everything on our own. See, our parents, their grandparents, their ancestors taught them how to sew, taught them how to fish, taught them how to do that. We, the Generation X, we had to teach ourselves a lot. Sometimes we were, and not sometimes, we were exposed to entirely too much. Entirely too much. We had to learn financial responsibility. We didn't understand how the hell did we come out of high school and couldn't get a job, couldn't get credit. How the hell we couldn't get credit? You fresh out of high school, they would fuck up our college applications. There's so many things that we could go back on. They gotta pay me for that. Those things happen. I can prove those things happen. I'm not gonna blame these motherfuckers for every single thing under the sun because I can't prove who did everything under the sun. Am I aware of those things? Absolutely. Do I know of those things? Yes. Did it make me sick to my stomach? Yes. Did it traumatize me? Yes. Did I have to heal from that? Yes. Do I get bruised and banged up every time, once in a while? Yes. But am I going to cry about it? No, because I'm still fixing this problem. I'm still fixing the main thing that started it all. I can't take on those other fucking problems until this shit right here in my face is eliminated. Let's get rid of this, and we can get next to that. When we get next to that, they can't fuck with it because they're not prepared for that type of clapback. They're used to a certain way of dealing with the Negro, and it's never generally favorable to the Negro. The Negro has accepted not being favorable to the world, has accepted defeat. Oh, they trying to kill us. Oh, they doing this. They doing this to us. They doing that to us. They doing this. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The ground is opening up. Shit. God ain't coming. Jesus ain't looking out. We just all fucked up, ain't we? The nigga ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't ripping down. They ripping down the 5G towers over there in London. And nigga, you sitting on your couch in Queens. Doing nothing. Talking about them ripping down towers in Europe. Motherfucker, that's vandalism. You see it as doing something to liberate them, but did that stop the motherfuckers with all the money in the world from being able to build new ones and lock your ass up for tearing down the ones you took? How about creating the legislature, dealing with the legislation to make sure these bitches don't go up altogether? How about we make it a crime for them to try and harm us? How about that? Which one of you Negroes, you voting ass motherfuckers, told your representative, you told your Democratic candidate that you want to make sure there's an act that goes up? You say you can't harm us. Whether you think you Indian, whether you think you black, where's the law? You can't hurt us black people. You can't just shoot us innocent people. The people have the motherfucking power. Where is that? Where is that? We can't get past nothing until we get past the truth. If you keep letting your kids walk all over the goddamn white carpet with their dirty ass shoes on, don't talk no shit to me when I come in there and I got mud on my goddamn boots. What example did you set? Your kids is doing it. Why would I not think it's okay? They don't give a fuck. I didn't know. Thought this was the house of not giving a fuck. You didn't make me try and care more. You flick cigarette ashes on the goddamn ground. Why wouldn't I think it's okay? Shit, I ain't seen no ashtray. Right? What we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We gotta do something. Gotta do something. Gotta do something. And there's plenty that could be done. There's plenty that could be done. But is people gonna be honest? Are people gonna be honest? Or they're gonna choose their favorite over facts and truth? just because your brother, he's a thief. He stole grandma's purse. He took her goddamn pocketbook. I know you love him because that's your brother. But do you got to promote him like he a good guy? No, you do not. You're doing that because you want to. You're doing that because it's safe for you to feel like you could do that. But the righteous thing to do is tell your brother, nigga, stop stealing from old ladies. Stop. You don't hide the pocketbook for the nigga and be like, what bag? He ain't take no bag. What bag you talking about, Moon? He ain't take no bag. My brother ain't no thief. Nigga, you got to stop stealing. We almost got caught. I always got to save you from stealing. Nigga, stop. That's how these people be. That's how they be. No accountability. We make complaints. We make complaints. We make complaints, and it's passive. Tell a man, you tell your people, you file a complaint with your own people before you go to the police, right? When these women that don't go to the police, a nigga get fucked up, they don't call the cops. They think that they can handle it amongst their people. They're expecting their people to do something, right? Nah, we ain't gonna call the cops. This nigga done tied me and my wife up, did this, that, and the third. We ain't gonna call the cops. I want to fuck that nigga up. What's the community supposed to do? How does that go? Now, do they call the cops when they see the nigga that did that to them, or do they be like, yo, son, I seen the nigga that had you and your wife tied up. He over here in the laundry on First Ave right now. How is this supposed to work? There's no accountability any way you put it. There's no accountability. We make our complaints and nobody pays attention to it. And then when we're angry, you want to call everybody angry black women. You want to give this attitude a new spin on it because it's the shit that you neglected, right? The shit that you neglected. It fell on deaf ears. So then when you don't hear it anymore, that's when your asses need to be worried. When you don't hear it anymore, that means they have accepted the fact that you are not down for the get down. And you are subject to all sorts of penalties as a result of that. So when you talk about togetherness, let it be with your family. If you can't get along with any of your brothers and sisters, any of your cousins, any of your children, any of your parents, hey, man, how can you link up and be a tribe with somebody? Everybody hates Chris, huh? How can you? How do we do that? Halito.
Hello, big up yourself,
Halito.
Empress. How you doing? You alright?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Big up everybody in the chat and people on the playback as well. And big up ICCC.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
my question.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good, Empress. I'm good. I'm just want to ask you, how do we move forward? I
Good.
know, in America, in North America, where you are at, there's issues between different Amerindians and people identifying with this and that. But how do we move forward? Apart from that you already highlighted, how do we as a collective, as Amerindians, you know, people who don't know or do know, how do we move forward? Because we're all in a sticky situation at the moment. Um, whether in the Americas, out the Americas. I mean, once you have tribal or birthright or heritage to the Americas, we're all facing the same situation. How do we move forward?
Well, I do know the first step, of course, we talked about the genealogy. That's where the power is because they've denied all of our claims globally, right? All oppressed people, not just the American Indians, not just us. All the oppressed people's their claims get denied globally. And the reason why their claims get denied is because they don't have accurate information. We have this grand story. Same thing why they'll never be able to get black reparations for slavery because it didn't happen the way that they told us it happened, right? So there is still, outside of what it is that we talk about, the true American history, there is 30, 40 million so-called black people that don't know that their ass is from right here in the Americas, whether it's North, South, or Central America. They still believe in their mind they are from somewhere else, that no one came to get them. They all heard the same thing that they had Indian in their family, right? But they are still going to go against grandma, not because they're wicked people, because they don't know. Because they
in the
don't know, and
structure.
some of them do know, and they have chose to settle. So that means that the numbers are even smaller. We're in a class by ourselves, right? We are the ones that are looking to change the ideologies and change some of the things that systemically have messed us up. It's not so much the system that has messed us up, it's the way that our view of the system, our lack of knowledge of the system, how it works, who is this supposed to work for. We forgot all of those dynamics. So here it is. We've spent the last 5 years screaming from the highest mountain, all of the things, all of the laws, all of the things that we forgot. And we got to talk about how angry we were with them being so passive on the information that was important to us. We are all past that. We don't need to blame anybody. We done said to hell with Martin Luther King, and then had to go back and take it back and say, you know what? Wait, Martin Luther King wasn't that bad. We had to go back over some of our statements that we made before when we were young and newer at things, right? So now that we've been drinking milk. We're not drinking milk no more. We eating meat and potatoes now. We got to leave some of those emotions behind. But in the interim, as all these things were playing out and going on, there was a level of study that we were supposed to be doing. And that study was applicable to how well we were going to be received when we start busting out saying who we are, right? Because they don't recognize us. Can't be mad at them. Oh, Lord's Prince of this shit. Hey, nigga, where you been? What are you talking about? My daddy been here 300 years. His name's Donald, and he's the prince. That's how they feel. They don't know us. Now,
I agree with you.
Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I finished when you speak in it.
Now, keep in mind, we're dealing with people. So now you got the 35, 45 million, however many other so-called black people that don't even know that they're Indian, right? And those numbers would count had they known, or if they was even interested in finding out who they are. But we know that's not going to happen. They won't leave the church. They won't question anything. They're just kind of content with their lives and kind of just want to go as far as they can go. They don't want no problems. They don't want no drama. And they're going to keep consistent with that. That's fine. We know what we can't count on them for much, except for bodies to be there or people to mourn because they didn't listen to the shit that we was talking about. We know that, right? So now here it is. We have these internal things going on, and they became very passive. When I tell you that somebody's stealing, there's no court, right? Court gets hold when the goddamn defendant ain't there. You got all these plaintiffs. There's no witnesses, just a bunch of plaintiffs. Everything all willy-nilly and what they call it shaka shaka, right? All over the place, right? No accountability. So now people feel like they Teflon. They think they Teflon Dons. Everybody has this attitude as if nothing's going to happen. So they're still actively scamming today, May 3rd, 2020. There's still some packages that got sent out by people pretending to be Indians, saying that they this and that with the most utmost sincerity. And they out here pushing paperwork that ain't got nothing to do with Indians. It ain't even really got nothing to do with Moors. How about that? It's just some belligerent shit that'll get you bust upside your head no matter what country you're in. They all gonna look at you sideways. There's not a place in the land that they can go with those documents. It couldn't be here, can't be Morocco. They're not gonna be successful nowhere with that kind of stuff.
Well, like
No,
you said,
they're gonna hear it.
Like you said, it's misinformation of people who are under the illusion of the system and the brainwashing indoctrination, and also the Masonic and Illuminati people, the Boule people that's brainwashing our people to believe these things. I mean, like you stated, American history or Amerindian history or Aboriginal or original indigenous history is not really talked about, discussed in the curriculum, or in basically our culture is not really talked about. It's very hidden, like we all know. Now that we do know, what thing can we set in place, like the so-called Black Panthers, a little list of bullet points, how do you move forward and the steps you should take?
Well, definitely. Right. Besides the genealogy, it has to be a political action. The genealogy is going to establish who the people are. The people are going to be who establish the voice, right? The voice of the plaintiff. Okay. So now that firmly sets who we the people would be in this particular area. Not so much here, but this could be anywhere else in any of the other Americas or areas. Then you have to politically. What is the political system? It's a little different in England with Parliament versus Congress and the Senate here, right? not too much different, but it's still a little different design. And it's not something that the rest of us are versed in, but people that actually live there and have to deal with Parliament, they are way more versed in that than us. What is it that they need? Are they maybe the people in the other Americas need to be clear from us what it is that they need, right? We can kind of work things and exchange things in that aspect, right? But other than that, what can we really do? The laws are not going to be the same. We can't get to an international level yet when we haven't even satisfied our own commitments in our town, villages, counties, cities that we live in now, civically. We haven't done that. The people here got a million and one tears, but they have not once done their civic duty to make sure that their oppression, comes to a minimum or stop, a complete stop. So now, where it is, my vision is this, right? And I don't say profess to know everything, but I'll just say Jamaica. That Constitution has to be burnt. Don't whip down a 5G tower, kick in the door that houses that document, and tell them motherfuckers something got to be done right now, right here, right now. No, yellow man, nobody move, nobody get hurt, right?
Yep.
It
Yep.
has to be a dramatic action. We can back you up, but we can't really sing the same note. We got to just be the backup singers. I'll take the high note, you take that middle note, somebody take the low note. We got perfect harmony now. We can back each other up in affairs. We have to show unity in that aspect. Now, for all of the people in the Americas that's here now and they acknowledge what it is, we got something that we can do together. But if we're separated, and then how does that work? So whatever it is that is working out here, you're supposed to make sure your people's is good back there. There's no way I would feel comfortable with my people's right here enjoying these benefits, knowing damn well they left their granny and them behind over there, and they starving, and they don't have the same rights we have. So something got to be done with that. That would compel me to make a different path. How do we make a different path? There's some
I'm listening
questions
to you.
that maybe we need to be asked. Maybe they need to find out what it is that we can do in regards to that. But there's really, my mother said I got to be in the house at 6 o'clock. If your mother ain't give you no curfew, I can't make. My mother ain't gonna make your mom's make you come in at the same time I did. So how is that? How's that gonna work?
I agree. I agree with you. I mean, boy, is this too much commotion with our people in general? What I'm talking about. I mean, everybody's divided or segregated, or have issues with certain people from the Americans for whatever particular reason they have, personal reasons or personal issues. I mean, we are aware that we are the same people. I mean, Carnival, Mardi Gras, Duncan and Duval, all these things, represents the Amerindian people in the Americas, which is not like nothing to do with people from Africa, because you're really aware that African people don't have carnival in the whole country. The so-called whole country, they don't have the same culture like the people in the Americas have the same culture. You know, um, what else can I say, man? I mean, it is time for people to realize what their culture is, man. And what what has been taken from them, their inheritance has been taken from them. I mean, like you said, we need to unify with each other, each tribe, each people from the Americas that's like-minded. Like you said, not many of our people are going to make it. And that's the truth. Not many people is going to make it are going to be aware of who they are and their identity because they've been given, the colonizers' way of doing things and thinking, and their philosophy and and these type of things. So like you said, the laws. We must know law, like you state. You must know the constitution, like you stated as well. And there's many things. It starts with foundation at home first. The genealogy is one, like you said. Then from the genealogy, you do the paperwork, the laws, and read the constitution, like you stated, and just reaching out and start implementing these things that we should, because we don't have a community. People think we don't have a community like like other people. Because if we look in the America, or even out of the America, you see that we're not control of our resources. It's all um, by a foreigner that's in control of our resources and all that.
I know for sure. The sentiment is pretty much uniform. That's not on trial. I just know that the assignments are different. We all have different assignments to make this thing work collectively. And the reason why I say we have to have an appropriate claim, and if people feel like genealogy is not sufficient, then use that to your advantage. Use that for your claim. Hey, there are no records. You know why? Because when you push them to that, there are no records, and it's your fault, and this and that, and you did this to me and my, and they got to take it to you and be like, look, see, sir, that's not true. We didn't deny you this, and then what they gonna give you? The records you couldn't find? Just to prove a point so they don't have no liability. So niggas is mad that there are no records, but not even thinking or receptive enough to know that the key to this is what not always what they did do, it's what they didn't do. That they had one job and they failed that miserably. You can ride that until the wheels fall off. There's no way that they can fix what they did to those census records 100 years ago, 200 years ago. They can write over it. They can do what they've been doing because they've had access to these offices because we have failed to be in these positions, and they've changed it from Indian to black, and they've taken your land, your shit, and your identity and claimed it for their own. They did this here. They did it in Jamaica. They did it in St. Kitts. They did it in St. Martin. They did it in Haiti. They did it everywhere. It's the same sandwich. What are we going to do about it? Haiti's constitution gives them the opportunity to bust everything. They could tear the roof off at any given moment they want to. That is when they want to. It's not when we say so. They got the green light to turn everything around immediately. Kick out who they don't want in their country and start from goddamn scratch. They have the power to do that. They have a republic. Are they doing that? No, they're not. Are people focusing on that? No, but when you go to the Haiti pages and look around, who do you see? The same crooks and scammers that was scamming and crooking over here, stateside, is over there now in Haiti telling the same people, the same jazz that they was telling us back then in 2005, 2010, 2015. And they've been out here stealing, creating them tribes. They doing the same shit down in Haiti. Don't think just because we ain't seen them in pictures, they ain't in Jamaica. Don't think they not in Puerto Rico. Well-organized machine of people looking to benefit, and they figure if the Indian ain't going to pick it up, we might as well. Oh, yeah, so they're now infiltrating there, going there, telling them people, giving them our spiel, giving them the truth with a lot of lies involved and a whole bunch of cons and schemes. They're not going to have a voice. Ain't no Phoenix Moon over there because they ain't been studying. It didn't trigger them yet. They haven't activated with their assignment that the ancestors put them on. We ain't the only people on the planet that feel this way. We just try to make it people comfortable for speaking up for the truth in a sea of people that of non-believers or believers because they're non-knowers. They need belief systems in order to feel whole. They need belief systems in order to cope with the trauma. They need those belief systems. So for the nigga that been beating people up, killing animals since we was 4 years old, I don't have no problem with the church making him stop, changing him over and stuff like that. Because that nigga was crazy. Yeah, if that worked for him, oh, well, let him stay there. That's fine. So it serves its purpose and stuff. But it doesn't show you how to handle your civic responsibility. It doesn't show you how to handle your responsibilities regarding the polity of your people, of your city, of your government, of your town. Everybody on the planet got a government, on paper or not, de facto and de jure. Everybody mama wearing things in their house. Daddy was the boss. Daddy is the government. Mama the boss, mama the chief. Everybody come from some sort of order and structure. There was a pecking order. Even among siblings. The older brother got to stay up late. The younger one goes to bed. The younger one might get more opportunities and passes than the older one because the older one should know better. It's the same thing. We ain't teaching nobody nothing new. The only thing that people are missing is the love. Right? Because they've just been so angry that they've been taken by all of the trauma instead of turning that pain into something positive and making something good come from out of all those goddamn tears. They'll take that and just try and make everybody else cry the same way they do. We got to get out of that. If we think love is not going to have anything to do with this, I don't know what to tell them. I don't have to be mega super spiritual to know that I need to be balanced and I need to have a window of light in order to be able to put it out. I need to receive it as well. See, I don't go up in dark places. If I feel like arguing, if I know somebody that, if I want my ass kicked, I know where to go. Same way, if I know I need a hug, I know who to get next to get what I need. You don't abuse your privileges. And everything that look like it's against you might be exactly what you need to smack your ass back into reality. You don't want to go there often, but you might need it every now and then. Might need it every now and then. Helps you get perspective. Especially when you're getting knocked down on your ass. You ain't going to keep wanting to be on the ground too long. The only way going to be up. Sometimes people got to fall on their ass so they can look up.
I agree with you. I mean, the way is the corporations don't really serve. You know, we really know this. The corporation don't serve the people in any of the Americas or anywhere in other hemispheres. They don't serve the people. They serve the British Empire or the colonizer that they're under. They don't serve the people. I mean, this is why we're in the situation we're all in the Americas, because the so-called governments, they're not here to govern. They're not here to help the people. You know, they're to rob from the people. You know, if you see in the West Indies, as we see in North and South Central America, we see this. I mean, this pandemic has showed, to me personally, it showed that the government don't give a fuck about the people. Trying to push vaccination and these type of things, and you know, take away people's constitutional rights to certain things that people are not aware of because they don't study law and they're not really clued up on certain things that should be clued up. I mean, these things you have to make it known to people as well as people scamming as well. I mean, I don't agree with people scamming their own people or anybody scamming. You're taking from somebody's pocket, you know, and taking somebody's money from them children. You know, I don't agree with them things. You have to expose these people, but you have to keep back on track. You know, highlight the people that, yeah, watch out for these people, beware these people, beware these people, you know. But you have to stay back on focus or back on track and say, yeah, these people keep pushing the same thing that we've been here for thousands of years or for millions of years. And, you know, we have an ancient civilization that the people try to hide from us. This is why they push these things, you know, these identification on our people. Because, you know, if people knew that they had a land and they had heritage and had a culture, people would defend it. They would defend it by any means necessary, like Malcolm X. People would defend their heritage.
That's
You know,
right.
they won't allow foreigners to culture appropriate them. Because as I look through the Americas, I see lots of foreigners from the Eastern Hemisphere culture appropriating the Amerindians or the Americans. But, you know, it's comfortable for our people to allow foreigners to culture appropriate them without saying anything. But, you know, like you all know, if I went to China and I went to say to open up a Chinese restaurant, Chinese people are not going to support me. You know, the same thing I could see in North America, any part of North America or South America or Central America, even the West Indies or surrounding islands of America, all run by foreigners, not by the original people of the land or the original inhabitants of the land.
That's right. I totally get it. I totally get it. And I agree. We definitely need to find out where we stand. Where I don't know. And then this is the thing too. We've made these different lines of communication specifically, and we I guess at the time we thought it was being strategic to where we all stayed in the loop. We had these allies here in Jamaica, we had allies here in Trinidad, and then there was some people in Dominican Republic, and we thought that we were going to be able to discuss some of these things, break down these constitutions, identify the oppressed people, do the genealogy so that we can have names. Because when we come with them with the corporate names, it ends up being a problem. But you come with them with the ancient name, and then you got to get their attention, right? It's not impossible to do. So now at the point, like again, when I say in those areas, is it difficult to find those records? Some, not all. Some of them are very easy to find, just the same as we can find our records too. And they have to be applied so you can identify what you have to stand on. about go to your oppressor and tell them what they as foreigners are doing to you, and you yourself are a foreigner, right? It was to go to Jamaican Parliament and tell them, hey, I don't like what's going on. We're saturated with foreigners telling us what to do, and this and this and that. And they'd be like, hey, who's your people? You a foreigner too. Go ahead, boy. Right? I was shocked. These are the things we have to do. So the genealogy is not going to get skipped up. It cannot be skipped over because that is where your race comes from. Your race is your stock from which you descend. If you cannot identify that, you can't give it a name. If you can't give it a name, you can't point the finger at somebody and expect the result to happen favorably for you. You can't even identify, hey, that guy's bothering me. Well, what's he doing, honey? I don't know, but he's bothering me. How does that sound?
That sounds ridiculous.
So those are some of the things we have to be able to identify what those issues are. So I said that to say that loop has been the loop in the arm of communication has absolutely been extended. Has it been followed up on? No, not so much. And maybe that's but that is still comes part with like micromanaging people, adults that are saying that they have their shit together in this aspect. There's certain responsibilities that you have or obligations that you are looking to fulfill, then that would certainly be your responsibility. I have mine and you have yours. I can't make yours mine and you can't make mine yours. We can probably exchange things, but it has to be a fair exchange where we're covering so that neither one of us is lacking. Whatever Indian is in me and whatever Indian is in you, even across the continent, nothing that I do is supposed to hurt you, Lacono. Mm-hmm. Nothing that you do is supposed to injure me. If we can kind of just get to that, I'm pretty sure we can work everything out. Now that you know I mean no harm, I know you mean no harm. We both got the same problems. Let's figure out how we maximize the opportunity. How do we maximize the time frame, gain the momentum, use it, and seize the moment while we have it? We never had a moment. This is our opportunity. We've never had a moment. We've always been smothered under the black umbrella, under the disparity umbrella, under the minority umbrella. Now here it is. We got a feather we can wave. And people want us to be ashamed of that feather. Then when it looks like it's not going to be so lucrative or the feather ain't going to win, they go back to their other perspective corners that they were in prior to this. I see it and I know they do. It's in their thinking. It's in their actions.
I agree. I see it too, Empress.
We don't have
being an Indian is trouble.
Right. It's trouble. Like people were happier when they were just black. You gotta, let's just tell the truth. It didn't feel as gratifying as it does now, but we didn't have these problems. We sure was loving each other from continent to continent, city to city. We didn't care. It was all us against them, not really realizing. But then when the veil is lifted and you realize, is it really them? It looked like some of us was trying to kick my ass the whole time. Mm-hmm. To identify. Now I can honestly say that there have been people that look like me that have literally, truly, really done more harm. And they're looking to do more harm than any pilgrim that I can conjure up in my mind that I don't know and don't know me.
Well, I would say this, Empress. I mean, regarding the sellouts, the coconuts, I mean, we have to, handle that how we handle it, whether it's whether it's this or whether it's that, we have to handle that situation. I mean, these people are always, these are the people why we're stuck in this situation, because due to the sellouts, not much so the colonization, but I mean the sellouts. This is what's really holding our people back. The sellout behavior that our people have, around the Americas or in the Americas or out of the Americas. I mean, this sellout behavior where they worship the colonizer and willing to betray their own people. These people, you have to sort them out, man. Like me personally speaking. I don't know how you feel, but that's how I personally feel.
Well, I'll say this. We definitely got to do better. I do agree with you. There has definitely been some. And then, look, let's just face it. There's some people that we can do without, right? There's some people around that we can do without. We have to identify who's here for the build, and who's gonna last, right? Because this is still the beginning stages. People are going to they're already falling by the wayside. What I mean by that is their focus changes quite often with each distraction, not just a distraction, with every single one. And here it is. There's been numerous of them, and then still people are still stuck in the same spot that they were stuck in 2 years ago. There should be some growth. There should be something that's different than the old way. There should be something that you have for yourself, a little personal accomplishment that maybe none of us know about, or that we all know about. There should be something for yourself that you can take and be like, you know what? I didn't have none of this last year. I'm grateful. I have gratitude. And now I'm going to work on this. Now this is going to, you start to change. Once you get the things that you were looking for, the things that you set out to the universe, once you obtain those goals, you make new goals. You don't just, what did you just stop right there and say, oh, thank you, I got what I wanted, and you don't know, your life ain't over. You're gonna want more things. You're gonna want more things. You're certainly gonna need things, and you listen. When you get to a certain age, also, you need people need to make sure um, that not only do they have that they don't have everything they want, but that they want everything that they have. I think that's a little more important. We also got to, like, again, that accountability. As long as we are holding, we don't got to have a trial for every single little grievance and gripe and issue. No, I'm not saying that. What has to happen is accountability. Has to be some accountability. The scheming, the scamming, yeah, that's got to get addressed. It's got to get addressed. Got to get addressed. We have seed defining.
Great light.
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna make a move anyway. So thank you for having me on the panel. Yeah, keep doing your thing, man. And big up yourself, see the fine. I wanna make a move anyway. But peace.
Peace and love, Lacono.
Manners and respect, and bless.
Thank you, darling. Have a great day.
You too.
Good morning, seed defining, Halito.
Great light, sister. Great light to you.
How
I'm
are you
also
today?
known. I'm great in light of the great light above my head. Great on the light of my father. I'm also known as Chief Engine Du Chawa, and I'm also known as Son on Yahweh.
Oh, okay.
How are you, beautiful?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be alive. Hoping that today's a little warmer than it was yesterday. The sun comes out, I'll be all right. I'm doing all right.
I found your channel through other channels, just watching people talk, and you have great spirit from what I hear, and you have compassion, and that's why I chose to come on and talk with you.
I appreciate. Thank you. That means a lot. That definitely does mean a lot. There's a lot of things going on in Indian country. Do you see any improvement? How has these some of the things that you've learned, have they transformed your life in any way? What's different now that you have come across this information or hearing it again, right? Hearing it again or being reminded of who it is that you are. How has that changed anything? Has it changed anything for you?
Hey, yeah, right. So I'm feeling the greatest I ever felt in my life. I'm grateful you asking. No one ever really asked me that. You're the first one in my life. Hey, yeah. So when I was born, 75, I was murdered at the age of 2 years old by a relative. I was put in a tub of hot water, and I was scarred from my waist down, but I had a pimple. So when I went to the hospital, the doctors took skin off my back and put it on my legs, skin grafting from my back to my legs. I died 3 times on the table, and through the power of the Most High Yah, or some would call God, I was brought back to life. And I've been getting bullied all my life. What they call it targeting. I don't call it that, but you know what I'm talking about. They call it gang stalking. you know. And to me, it's always been there. It was always there. And these devices, to me, is a cover up of what's always been there. But what happened was I went in the building, or I went inside what's called apartments, homes, you know, where I lived. I never ever looked for my own place. I was always, um, I guess, given it to by the light, given it to me. Everything I received was given by the light. Um, so I basically hid in four walls, which you might be called a cave, all my life. And when I came to Earth or realized people do something called talking through their throat, a tone come from your throat and people start moving, and it looked like magic to me. So I wanted to find out what people saying, and I said I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk until I find out what I know what I'm talking about. So I didn't start talking till I got 30 something. I mean, I talk, hey, how you doing? Yes, thank you, bye, okay. Just simple get by you talk, right? Um, but when I realized what I was talking, when I realized I know what I'm talking about, that's when I started talking. And that's really the change, is realizing that I'm the only one that know the truth in my life from beginning to now. And I'm the only one that ever could see, um, or hear and know it. So when I realized I am the son of God in the flesh, it's when I changed, the change in my life. And I realized it's the greatest moment of my life when I came out of darkness into the light, which I was born into. I was born into the light, which is, they call it sunlight, moonlight, starlight, which is the money, which is Israel, or money, moon, sunny, money. And the stars changing your pocket. That is your pocket, if you could see it that way.
Well, I thank you so much for coming to express that, and I appreciate that. I'm so glad that you are at peace.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
and may your journey be the lightest one that you can find, beloved.
It's there,
Wow,
sister. It's we already in heaven, sister. If you
that's
can
right.
call it heaven, I don't know what you call it, though.
Listen, the legal definition for hell is prison. So the opposite has got to
You
be
s-
freedom, and
you saying it, mama?
that's got
Cause
to be
jail
happy.
say hell.
That's right.
J is a H. Mojave.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You
right.
feel what I'm saying? Jail say hell, and they ghost bust. Right?
Thank you so much, brother. You have a
You
great day.
you have a great life too, sister. I'm
Thank you.
grateful for you having me.
Thank you very much. Bye now.
All right, bye bye.
So, beloveds, yeah, so like I was saying, we definitely got to figure out something. Something has to be done, but all the willy nilly is not gonna do. It's not gonna fare well. Um, we have I'm gonna call the name because it's the truth. We got the dude Roz Nadi that was just on Ab TV's platform. This dude selling paperwork. Again, he's not from here, and he's knee deep in American affairs, pushing that shit on American Indians. That's not fair. That's terrorism. He don't need no platform to get over on our people. You see what I'm saying? So these are the kinds of things that now we telling you these people been scamming. Now nobody wants to listen. So when the fucking full on blaze comes whipping through, don't act like don't nobody know why it's hot in the hood. Why it's hot in the hood. And these people are still thinking that they could be comfortable scheming, scamming, lying, right? They talk all this anti-government shit, but they want your fiat bad. They lying to you about your ancestors and your heritage. The very ticket that you need to get at the people that have been oppressing you, they're stealing it from you, charging you $39.99 or $1,200 for the chief in the box kit. All of these things are happening. So your oppressor has boots on the ground with a nigga that look like you, and he in your face stealing out your grandma purse. And then tell you he ain't stealing. And then everybody that really didn't steal, he goes over there. They know he stole, but they're gonna lie and act like they don't, or act like they didn't see it. Shaggy, it wasn't me, right? So We're just gonna have to do something. We're gonna make it really hard. I don't apologize for telling the truth. I don't apologize for exposing this bullshit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I've been a victim. I'm not gonna be nobody victim no more. But the thing is, that comes with some responsibility too, because I'm still not looking to victimize anybody just because I was a victim. See, the opposite happened. Now I want to protect people from being victimized by these same cooks and creeps that come dangling that feather and shit. We don't need that. I keep the same. It's a different energy. I have a more tolerance for the skin folk, because I don't show them other niggas no goddamn mercy. I don't have to. But I'll be a lot more tender with the skin folk. I'll be tender with them. And I'm tender with them because I think that they have a shot at redemption. I think that they have something to get back to themselves. I don't take every single thing personal. You know, you had all them ladies over there talking about how they was going to do all this shit. I really couldn't even take no credence to that. I couldn't feel it in no way, because the first thing I said was, damn, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I will not accept responsibility for somebody that sound like they're going to have a fucking stroke just at the mere existence or mention of my name. It's a false made up thing. I ain't been in nobody's house in nobody way to where anybody on the fucking planet can be that fucking upset and have a right reason or a good reason to be that fucking upset with Moon. It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. And at the end of the day, I treat my peoples good. And even when we're not fucking peoples anymore, you'll always miss the peoples in me that you had. Everybody. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. I'm a whole live wire, good asset. That's why there's so many lifers around. There's so many friends for life around, because we've already established that. I didn't need to look for new friends. I was so busy enjoying the ones that I had from childhood, because life is so short and my life started out with them. So how I grew up in Queens it was good, but it was bad in a way, because I grew up seeing loyal people care about each other. I grew up with our friends really being our friends. My friends' mothers loved me. My mother loved my friends. Like, we had this type of kith and kinship. Then when I turned 18 and I moved away to a whole nother city and I was out on my own and in my own way and making my own way in life, I kind of expected that second phase of people to be like the ones that I had in my formative years, loyal to the bone. No. People were betrayers. People were this. As an adult, I had most of my trauma in life came as an adult, not as a child. Shocked by the behavior of people who grew up without love, who grew up without showing loyalty, or someone or experiencing people being loyal to them, experiencing people lifting them up from dark places, or being fortunate enough to experience the good, bad, and indifferent, consistent with a group of people that started in the beginning and they're gonna be there in the end. You know how many people fall off with those, fall off before they get to the finish line. And when you turn around and look at who's still here, man, listen. Those are the ones that I value. Those are the ones that I value. I won't forget. Now, I tell you, I do got some other different perspectives, though. And what I mean by that, there's some people that while I was taking this path and doing all this studying and doing all this research and putting all this my stuff together to figure out how I was going to connect these dots and all of that, I asked people to be patient with me, and motherfuckers was demanding everything that they demanded. And I just realized, like, damn, I really was accommodating all these motherfuckers. And the one time I need a breather, the one time I need respite, where the fuck? How can they not come? Have I been such an overachiever as a friend that people don't know how to be a friend to me? And I don't require much. I'm not one of those friends that are very needy. I'm not a needy friend. Oh, I need you every 5 minutes. Oh, I need to cry. I need to vent. I need to this. I need to that. I'm not that friend. But people try to steal my innocence. It may have been naivete, but it was an innocence still left to me. As tough, as rough as I am, and people tried to ruin that. I won, though. I won. I stayed true to who I was, the loving, generous, give of herself, protective, loyal, down like 4 flat tires. I got to maintain that because people tried to take that from me. Those is the same things they loved me for, made them hate me in the end. Oh, yes, they did. Same thing a nigga love you for, the nigga will hate you for in the end. Love you for that slick mouth in the beginning. Hate you because your mouth is slick, girl, in the end. Oh, man. All I know, fools get eaten up. They have a certain level of protection. Fools and the ignorant have a level of protection. You are safe from a lot of things because you are foolish or because you are ignorant. The wise have many a burden. The wise have many a burden. And then there's the struggle on how to deal with the information, how to deal with those different energies, how to deal with the forces that work against you. It's about balance. It's about balance. Never mind protect your neck. You better protect your mind because they'll be chiseling away at it, trying to stomp at the bit. Better protect your mind. Peace of mind is worth killing for, worth fighting for. Definitely is. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I certainly know that that's I see that to be the absolute truth. If your mind ain't in wellness, see, there's no wellness. Like people are gonna keep running from the wellness. My sister came in the door talking about, yo, this shit ain't well. These people ain't well. Get your ass up out of here, sis. This shit is crazy. These niggas ain't well. All these different energies. There was no lie she told me. No lie she told me. My sister want me cut my motherfucking lord. Man, fuck these motherfuckers. These job turkeys. These niggas don't. Oh, sister, it's a process. It's the process. It's the process. It's the yin and yang where we go back and forth, and she knows what's best for me. She knows what's best for me. I can trust that she knows and wants what's best for me. So I find myself going back over a lot of words that were exchanged between us. And I'll spend the next couple of days and weeks be like, hey, you know what? You was right about that too. That's the game, the catch-up game I'll be playing with my twin. Lots and lots of things. But definitely, it's going to take people to take initiative and find out what it is. Whatever's going on in Jamaica, we can't really help you. But there's things that you can do, and the things that we can help with, let's kind of find out what those things are so that we can, stand tall in that regard. We all gonna have to still do things in their prospective places. Like, where are the allies? Is there a delegate, or maybe not a delegate, but is there a representative in Panama for the people of Panama that know that they are American Indians? Is there someone in Jamaica that could be an ambassador for American Indians? They don't have any voices either. What are they just going to be on the internet? Who's going up against Parliament? Who's going up to the Capitol? Who's making any kind of noise? How do you make noise there? Is it the same way we can make here? Can we file petitions here? What do you do? Help me understand that. Why should I have to stop what it is that I'm doing with the law here and the history here when I already gave y'all the jewel? Nigga, y'all niggas is Indians too. They called y'all West Indians. That's y'all home. Y'all should be fixing y'all home first, and then we all have a big old fucking world party after. until you fix what's going on in Kingston, until you fix what's going on in your neck of the woods, we can't all get together and make the oppressors pay. You got your individual beef that don't got nothing to do with me. Make them pay for that. Find the remedy. Get the remedy. Get the cure. Get the bag. They owe you a bag. If you can prove what it is that they did, they owe you a bag. Get the bag. Is that going to make you happy? Now you get the bag and they don't even honor that currency no more. What the fuck was it all for? You better know what you want. Like Burnish Brass say, you better make it plain. You better make it plain. That window of opportunity is going to come and go before the Indian knows it. And you can say, Moon said it was going to come and go. Did I miss it? Nigga, you missed it. Wait, what happened? Oh, shit. Well, why? Everybody was watching squirrels. There was a rabbit on a motorcycle that drove by. That rabbit on the motorcycle was the microphone for the Indians to sit there and speak and get their voices heard and tell all their beef and shoot their shot. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, shit, that was about a half hour ago. That nigga about 30 miles in Utah right now. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do is go back, way back. So, get that time machine up, man. Go dig up on them grandma and grandpas. Check out a few things here and there, man. Get all that stuff together. You know, if you can't go back that far, you better sit there and write down a list of shit they did to you. You was born in 72. Oh, they done did some shit that they should pay for from 72 to now. Figure it out. Maybe you can't use that ticket as an Indian, but as an Indian, you'd be able to use that in addition to. You get what I'm saying? You got different beefs. We all got one major beef, right? And one thing for sure, we can all say the same thing, whether you find anything attaching you as an American Indian or not. One thing we can all fucking say is they fucked up on that census and they still fucked up and took your heritage and culture from you anyway, right? So whether or not you are a Turk, a Moor, an African, or anything, they still stole from you. Why don't you just stay there? Don't go all off into the Kunta Kinte and they took this and did that. You can't prove that. You better stay with that one little spicy meatball and maximize and capitalize off of that. Don't keep trying to take on everything. You don't got the same things going on. You know? So, gotta get it together. We gotta get it together. This was Moon in the Morning. Moon in the Morning. Grand Rising. I'm gonna go get my little herbal ancestral hoot and holler on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know that's right. Doodle. They don't know who Elian Gonzalez is. Ain't that a fact? Ain't that a fact? We definitely got some things to do. Now don't take this as no diss. All the people from the North, South, or from the other Americas, South, Central Americas, and the Caribbean, let's figure out an action plan. Because if y'all not working over there on your end, you don't need to be over here cheerleading or bullshitting with your megaphone. We don't need it. Especially if you could be looking in the library on some shit that's going on for you. Don't make us responsible to think that we got to save y'all. We trying to save ourselves. We all saving ourselves is what is going to do the collective good. Because coming out of Black people, remember, they primarily expect other people to do things for them. They expect them to know what they want, right? And they okay with being lied to about getting what they want? We're going to give you jobs and education. They've been saying that shit for 70 years. And Black people are like, hey, you know, Bernie Sanders is going to bring all these jobs and education and he's going to take care of the seniors. And they don't be knowing what the fuck they talking about, but it make them feel good. And then when that shit don't turn out, they don't care about us. Like, wait a minute, you said Bernie was the man. They don't care. They trying to kill us. So you voted for Bernie Sanders so that he can stop these people from doing what? Or you just wanted schools and jobs. They all say that. You didn't say anything to Bernie Sanders about making sure that there's some sort of protection. Hate crimes against so-called black people or people of color, right? You ain't making them really write it out in plain black and white. You're expecting them to do it. Let's keep it real. So that's how that goes. But I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm about to go get out there in the dirt, see if I can catch a couple little sun rays and stuff like that. But I hope y'all have a great day. Shout out to my homeboy Skipper. I'll never forget the day that I cut school and got jumped and you came, something made you turn back around and you came and got me and we fought all them fucking people. I will never forget that day. You never let them jump me. We fought for side by side for the next 10 years. My motherfucking homeboy, y'all. I love you, kid. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy New Year. I'm going to cut on out of here. I got a couple things to do. Definitely feeling the love. I hope y'all are too, man. We're going to get this shit together. Chipisa la chique.